Good. Thank you po. And good afternoon, everyone. So I'll be introducing to you po our resource speaker for today, this afternoon, is a professional with more than 31 years aggregated managerial, supervisory, and highly technical functions experience in government service with responsibilities involving the management and supervision of the overall operation of the database, network, and infrastructure facilities, as well as the study and recommendation of ICT-related policies, infrastructure facilities, and standards of use of ICT systems and assets to ensure the efficiency and security of data and communication flow, particularly on public financial management. An employee of the Department of Budget and Management, currently on secondment since 11 January 2019, with the Department of Information and Communication Technology, or DICT, under the Cybersecurity Bureau as Director 2, handling the implementation of the first phase implementation of the Cybersecurity Management System project. A postgraduate of Master in Development Management from the Department of Academy of the Philippines under the Public Management Development Program, and an alumna of the Polytechnic University of the Philippines, Bachelor in Computer Data Processing Management. Help me welcome our very own Director 2, Director Roderick M. Suarez of DICT Cybersecurity Bureau. Sir, good afternoon po and welcome to our webinar po.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon sa ating lahat and maraming salamat for this opportunity na makapag-share ng konting nalalaman ko about cybersecurity. So this afternoon, we are going to walk through on the cybersecurity fundamentals and some protection. Actually, mayroong konting parang miscommunication happen because when I asked our coordinator sa Cybersecurity Bureau, ang pagka-inform was this is going to be at 2 separate batches. Now, when I saw the module, may ano pala, may distribution. And it so happened na lahat ng coverage ng lecture ko, covered na rin pati yung day 2. So, ididire-diretso ko na lang siya. Okay, so, yeah, sabi nga kanina ng ating moderator, grab a bottle of water and coffee or tea, then ano tayo? Enjoy lang natin this afternoon. So, I'm going to share my screen. Can you see it now?
Yes, sir. Kita po, sir.
Okay. So, most of the participants, I understand, parang maraming estudyante, no?
May mga ilan po, sir, but some of them are from government agencies po.
So, more or less, pag narinig nyo ang cybersecurity, anong pumapasok sa isip niyo? Anyone? Parati nating narinig cybersecurity, internet, cyberspace, cyber attack, cyber espionage, cyber threat. So, more or less, parati nating narinig siya. And yung iba sa atin, hindi natin sila iniintindi dahil akala natin hindi naman ito nakaka-apekto sa atin. Alright? Tama po ba? Okay. To begin with, let's start the discussion on cybersecurity basics. So let's get to know the technology and the policy point of view. Physical world versus cyberspace. Sa chat box natin, pwedeng anong ma-differentiate nyo, anong kaibahan between physical world and cyberspace?
Nakasaad po, sir, sa chat is tangible and intangible, real and virtual, physical person to a personal virtual person, real and virtual, manual and computerization,
Okay.
physical world. Yes, marami pa po, sir.
So tama. Nakuha nila. Physical world is touchable. Nahawakan natin. Laptop natin ngayon, isawak natin. So physical siya. Physical, more or less, static. So cyberspace, dynamic. Okay, from the figures, makikita natin na mga physical source of information. Mayroong dyaryo na nakasabit, mayroong magazine. Ngayon, when it comes to cyberspace, dynamic siya. Yung horizon niya is parang walang limit. Then, sa mga nangyayari ngayon, sa physical world, yan, lalaki patay, banyaga patay, dilima, so rescue. Mga nakikita natin mga nangyayari sa paligid natin. On the same manner, sa cyberspace, marami rin nagaganap na mga pangyayari. Most of them, karamihan mga crimes. Then, of course, ang ICT, malaking bagay sa atin. ICT is pang-priming the economy. But at the same time, ICT is also used now for, sad to say, terrorist purposes in drug trade and criminality. So ISIS, then Silk Road. So kung nanonood kayo ng mga movie and mga documentary film, ang Silk Road is parang ano siya, avenue towards yung mga drug syndicate na nangyayari. And they are using the internet, the cyberspace, to do that kind of business. Then cyberspace, ito ang mga posibleng, ito ang mga maaring hindi nakikita, hindi visible sa ating naked eye, but in the real world, in the cyberspace, maraming nangyayari talaga. So nagbabatuhan sila, may mga hacking, may mga change of business, change of communication, so on and so forth. Then physical world and cyberspace, may mga similarities sila. Like may mga crimes na pwedeng mangyari at na pareho, like attack, harassment. We can do physical harassment through physical harassment through words, like nagmurahin mo yung katabi mong kaibigan mo or yung kaaway mo, you can go to his place, then you can harass her or him. And at the same time, sa cyberspace, you can harass your enemy using social media, using email, some sort of that. Then also on the same manner, it do also a threat. Like for example, in physical world, like for example, theft. Ang mga theft is physical, magnanakaw ka sa bangko. Using the cyberspace now, pwede ka na magnakaw using the technology, like what happened sa Bangladesh, di ba? So everything, may mga similarities sila, may mga advantages sila, and may mga disadvantages. Actually, in reality, parang since ang technology was created by man, by human, so ang naging pattern ng mga threats, ng mga crime is based kung ano yung mga pwedeng mangyari using physical world activity. So parang i-glorify na lang when it comes to technology. So what I said, what happens in cyberspace, criminal use it to steal millions. So pamilyar naman tayo dyan, marami tayong nababalitaan. We use it to exchange information. And of course, hacktivists use it to further political goal. Especially ngayong panahon ng mga malapit na naman na election. So may mga hindi maiwasang posibleng mangyari. Nagagamitin nila ang cyberspace for political goal. Andiyan lalabas sa mga troll, may mga siraan, so on and so forth. So, now, ano ba itong cybersecurity? What is cybersecurity? It doesn't matter kung minsan makikita nyo magkahiwalay. Cyber, then may space security. Then kung minsan makikita natin, one word lang siya, cybersecurity. So, it's the same thing. Cyber security equals cyber plus security. So, anong idea nyo pag narin yung cyber? SM, cyber zone. Sa cyber zone, anong makikita nyo? Mga gadget, computer, cellphone, router, firewall, everything about technology. So, makikita na natin sa cyber zone. Nung panahon ng time nakalakap sa ni CDR King, para na siyang cyber zone Kasi one-stop shop si CDR King. So cybersecurity is cyber plus security. So cyber is about technology. Then security, of course, is protection. Pagsamahin natin cyber plus security. So ang technology is system. Therefore, equivalent protection niya is system security. Network, equivalent protection is network security. Programs, data, equivalent is application information security. So, more or less familiar tayo sa ating mga offices. Mayroon tayong systems. May mga payroll systems tayo. May inventory systems. May document tracking system. Then mayroon tayong network. So mayroon tayong local area network. May wide area network. Then for the programs, we have the Microsoft, we have the Google, we have the Adobe, so everything. So those are part of cybersecurity. Then why cybersecurity is important? We need to address cybersecurity because the volume of threats increasing rapidly, especially ngayong panahon ng pandemic. Maraming ang ICT is naging very helpful during this time of pandemic, but at the same time there are also increasing number of enterprising individuals trying to challenge this technology. So especially yung nauso mga online sellers, nauso mga online shopping, and ang mga cyber criminals hindi nagpapahulian. So kung anong nangyayari sa environment, kung updated tayo, sumasabay sila or kung minsan hinihigitan pa nila tayo. Cyber attacks can be extremely expensive for business to endure. Once na ma-attack ang iyong business, of course, there's a way to recover it, but ang malaking impact is yung reputation. Pag nasira ang reputation ng iyong company, ng IT systems ng iyong company, mawawala, parang madidegrade or bababa yung kumpiyansa, especially if your company is a banking system, bababa ang kumpiyansa ng mga kliyente sa iyong negosyo. Then cyber attacks are becoming progressively destructive. Dati, ang mga virus lang is dinidisable lang niya yung mga drives mo. So pinapabagal lang niya yung takbo ng computer mo. Ngayon, yung mga antivirus, sinisira na talaga niya yung mga files niya. Then may mga malwares, dati ini-infect lang niya. Ngayon, yung mga malwares is kinukuha na niya, ini-infect na niya yung data niya, kinukuha niya, ibinebenta pa niya. And of course, in compliance with regulations. Na-mention nga kanina ni Director Tess na mayroong institutionalized order for the celebration of cybersecurity. And as part of that, kailangan talaga nating magkaroon ng cybersecurity awareness. Then, fundamentals objective of cybersecurity. Madalas, I'm very sure narinig niyo ito, CIA. So, pag narinig na iba sa atin, ano ba CIA? So, yan ba yung nasa Central Intelligence Agency na United States? Hindi po. Pagdating po sa cybersecurity or information security, for that matter, ang CIA is dealing with confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Mukhang sablay pa yung spelling na integrity. So we have to understand cybersecurity means protecting information from unauthorized access, unauthorized modification, unauthorized deletion in order to provide confidentiality, integrity, and availability. So, going back to confidentiality, preventing the disclosure of data authorized. So, may mga measures na pwedeng gamitin dito like data encryption, two-factor authentication, biometrics, security token. So I'm very sure na di ba? Pag nag-access ka pag may dumarating sa inyo na bank statement, naka-PDF file siya. Usually humihingi siya ng PIN, di ba? Na last 4 digits or last 6 digits ng iyong credit card. So that is an example that that document is confidential. So it has to be properly authenticated. And ang token na pwede mong gamitin sa kanya is yung certain information coming from your credit card to make sure na ikaw talaga yung tao na intended to open that document. Then integrity, protecting information from being modified by unauthorized parties. So sino lang ba ang pwedeng makakita nitong dokumento na to? Sino yung pwedeng mag-edit? Sino ang pwedeng hindi? Like, for example, in our organization, when we are doing when we are working on a certain documents, we usually collaborate. We do share it on Google Drive. Then we assign permission. Sino lang ba yung pwedeng maka-view? Sino yung pwedeng mag-edit? In such manner, we can ensure, we can guarantee the integrity of that file. Kasi kung lahat bibigyan natin ng permission to do editing, medyo mahirap. Medyo mako-compromise yung data. And also in our organizations, mayroon tayong di ba, may mga rules and responsibilities tayo. So like for example, in IT, we have the application department, we have the infrastructure department, we have the planning standards. So the planning and standards people are the one doing the terms of reference, conduct market research, so on and so forth. But in order for them to come up with such, they need input coming from the other division. So they initiate a file, then assign access level to that particular file. Then availability. Hindi lahat ng information, hindi lahat ng communication dapat maging available. Parati nating narinig on a need-to-know basis, right? So the same sa cybersecurity. Make sure that authorized party is able to access information. Sa ating organization, isa sa parating pinag-aawayan and maraming mga hinaing ang mga co-workers natin pagdating sa internet. Bakit si IT personnel lahat na-access nila sa internet? Bakit kami ang daming restrictions? Bakit kayo nakakapag-unlimited ang inyong storage capacity sa Google Drive? Bakit kami limited lang sa 5 gig? So, because naka-define, especially if that organization has a policy and standard, kung sino lang, kung kanino at sino ang dapat mayroong kung sino ang pwedeng maka-avail ng ganong klaseng mga privileges. Now, so since ang information security or cybersecurity is a CIA triad, masasabi niyo bang secure ang isang system kung isa sa mga ito ang nawawala? Masasabi ba natin na ang sistema natin is secured kung, like for example, especially ngayong mga panahon na to, na marami naka-work from home, gusto kong humingi ng certificate of employment. Ngayon, na-delay ng 1 week kasi yung tao daw na nag-handle nun is naka-work from home. So, next week na lang uli ako tumawag. So, secured ba yung manpower management information system? Audience? So, pag isa ba sa mga component ng triad is nawawala, masasabi pa nating secure the system natin?
Ang answer po nila, sir, is lahat po no.
Very good, very good. Kasi all have to work together to keep information secure. So they complement each other. So tama yung ating audience. Now, katulad ng na-mention ko kanina, may mga certain words na parati tayong naririnig. And familiar tayo, pero in reality hindi natin alam ano bang ibig sabihin nito. Like cyber libel, cybercrime, cyber. So a cyber is referring to computer or computer network, the electronic medium in which online communication takes place. That's why ang Schumart meron siyang cyber zone kasi nandun na lahat ng mga medium for online communication. So itong computer natin, itong mouse natin, itong keyboard natin, mga USB natin, these are part of cyber. Cyberspace. Used to describe virtual world of computers. Yung nasa drawing kanina na hold no boundaries. So, cyberspace. So, parang yung ano natin, space kalawakan. Hindi mo maabot matanaw. The same characteristics ng cyberspace. Like for example, pag nag-avail tayo ng cloud storage, hindi natin alam talaga kung nasa ang server yung ginagamit natin. Pag nag-upload tayo ng mga pictures natin sa Facebook, alam natin Facebook siya. Pero hindi natin alam kung saang facility ni Facebook sa mundo na nadideposit yung mga pictures na na-upload natin sa Facebook. Because that is a part of cyberspace. So cybersecurity is referring to the collection of tools, policies, risk management, approaches, actions, training, best practices, assurance, and technologies. So pag sinabi natin cybersecurity, kasama tayo dito. Aside from sa nakikita nating mga data center, server, antivirus, firewall, virtual VPN, then I'm very sure meron sa inyo na meron kayong ISMS or Information Security Management System using the ISO British 2001. Then mga training that is considered as cybersecurity. Ang awareness, cybersecurity awareness na ginagawa natin ngayon is also a part of cybersecurity. Kung yung office nyo, nag-come up sila with a draft policy on using the email, that is a part of cybersecurity. Then risk management. So ito yung kino-compute. May mga ano kasi pag bumibili tayo ng mga infrastructure, when we are trying to set up certain solution, kino-compute natin dito, ina-identify natin dito as part of the risk management yung tinatawag natin na yung mga risk, inherent risk at saka yung residual risk. Inherent risk, ano ba yung mga risk na nakikita natin kung hindi tayo mag-put ng antivirus, kung hindi tayo maglagay ng firewall. Then, for example, na-address natin yung mga inherent risk na yon. Later on,
Director Suarez, excuse me po, parang nag-freeze po yung inyong screen, yung share screen po ninyo. Yun po yung chat, galing sa chat ng mga kasama natin nagjo-join.
Okay. Okay na?
Yeah. Okay na po. Thank you po.
So, risk management. Sa bawat organization, when we are dealing with cybersecurity, kailangan, very important itong risk management kasi hindi naman kailangan bili lang tayo ng isang tools or technology. Kailangan ano din natin, i-compute din natin kailangan ba talaga. Like for example, ang inyong organization is mga 25 lang naman kayo, parang overkill naman kung bibili pa kayo ng firewall. So dapat mayroon tayong risk management, pag-aralan natin yung inherent at saka residual risk. Ano ba yung pros and cons kung bibili tayo nito at kung hindi tayo bibili. Then kung mapag-desisyon na natin na bumili tayo, later on, ano yung mga residual risk? Of course, pag bumili naman tayo ng mga solutions, mga security solutions, hindi naman sa 100% guarantee na maa-address na lahat ang mga problema or yung mga threats, especially sa cyber world, yung mga cyber threats. Mami-mitigate lang natin. Then on that point, pwede nating pag-aralan natin kung paano natin na lang natin siya ma-handle. Cybersecurity is the prevention, protection, and the restoration from cyber attacks. Kuminsan kasi realization sa atin na kailangan muna nating mag-suffer ng setback, kailangan muna nating ma-hack ang ating sistema bago tayo mag-act. Kumbaga, marami. And I would admit na even in my organization, may mga time dati na naging kami. We call it as, sabi nga nung former secretary namin, the late Secretary Bongko din, wag tayong agaw-sunog. So, kailangan nating maging proactive, hindi tayo reactive. Cybercrime, referring to the penal law that punishes crime committed with the use of computer systems. So, attacks by the criminal on the system itself that affects the CIA of data and computer system. So, anything that is happening using the cyberspace na ginagamitan ng ICT, ng technology, affecting the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of data in computer systems, sasabi natin isang cybercrime. Isang cybercrime is of course yung mga identity theft, hacking, so on and so forth. Cyber espionage, referring to the use of computer networks to gain illicit access to confidential information. So ang mga example nito kuminsan madalas naririnig natin na may mga hacking na nangyayari sa Amerika, ang suspect nila China, ang suspect nila Russia. On the same way, pag may mga hacking na nangyayari sa China, binabalik nila yung pagbibintang nila sa Russia, sa Amerika, sa Israel. So pag cyber espionage, ang very common dito is it is initiated by a government or other organization. Cyber threat, a malicious act that seeks to damage data, steal data, or disrupt digital life in general. So, ayan, it includes computer viruses. So, alam naman natin kung anong nagiging epekto pag yung ating sistema is nagkaroon ng mga viruses. Data breaches, like yung nangyari dati sa Comelec. So, nasi-share yung mga data. Denial of service. Hindi natin magamit yung particular program. And other attack vectors like yung mga ransomware na parang ino-hostage nila yung program natin, then kailangan nating magbayad using karamihan is mga Bitcoin para ma-retrieve natin yung ating data or magamit natin yung ating program. Then cyber threat usually perpetuated by a hostile nation, terrorist group like yung mga Abu Sayyaf, ISIS, then hacktivists, corporate spies like si Company B and Company A, Company A and Company B. Company, they are on the same business and the same kind of, almost the same kind of product. Ngayon, nakikita ni Company P na parang mas mabenta yung mga products ni Company A. So naguutos sila ng spy to do some cyber threat para isabotage yung IT systems ni company A, pag nakawin yung mga technologies na ginagamit nila, mga tipong ganon. And cyber threat can be done also by disgruntled insiders or employees, especially sa mga bangko. Or even in an ordinary organization. Disgruntled employee, kung masama ang loob mo, napagalitan ka ng boss, hindi ka na po promote yet, isa ka sa mga very important person when it comes sa IT. So dahil may mga grudge ka na kinikimkim sa loob, you can do that. So isa sa threat talaga ngayon in every organization is insider. Then hackers, of course, alam naman natin ang hackers. Of course, hindi lahat ng hackers masama. Take note of that. May mga hackers kasi na they're just doing it for fulfillment. Na magaling ako, napasok ko sa ganito, but I'm not actually doing some kind of harm. Parang trophy ko lang to. Nahack ko itong system na to, wala naman akong ibang gagawin, tropeyo ko to. Then of course, cyber threat, disaster, natural disaster. Pag bumaha, inabot yung mga servers mo, mga data center mo, that is also considered as cyber threat. Then, accidental action of authorized users. Maraming nangyayari ganito, accidental actions of authorized users, parati nating depensa, pasensya na po, tao lang. Kuminsan kasi, especially if we are very much familiar doon sa trabaho natin, kuminsan nagiging carefree na tayo. And it's very common na minsan talaga nagkakamali tayo. Cyber attack, an attempt to disable computers, steal data, or use breach computer system to launch additional attacks. Cyber criminals can use a variety of methods to launch cyber attacks, including malware, phishing, ransomware, and the man-in-the-middle attack. Then, yung na-mention ko kanina, may mga inherent at saka residual risk. So, more or less, familiar naman tayo nito. Narinig natin parati ito. Cyber criminals, individual who commit cybercrime where he makes use of the computer either as tool or as a target or as a bot. Kaya anybody can be a cyber criminal. Then a cyber criminals use computer in three broad ways. So ang criminals can select computer as their target, use computer as their weapon, and use computer as their accessory. So may self-explanatory naman. Then there are lots of cyber threats, but on a regular basis that we're encountering on daily professional life natin, ito ang very common. So malware, hacking, social engineering, and phishing. So malware, alam naman natin, malware. Ibig sabihin yan is malicious software intended to manage or disable computers and computer systems. Kung mag-attend kayo ng Cybersecurity 101, more discussions sa mga cyber threats doon sa webinar na yon. Malware, ito yung mga virus, yung mga isa rin sa mga makukonsider na malware ang mga spam. Then hacking, unauthorized access to data in a system. Social engineering, psychological manipulation of people into performing actions. Itong social engineering, kung sa language natin, ito yung tinatawag na budol-budol. Then phishing, trick users into clicking malicious links. So ito yung may mga paid, karamihan ito sa mga email o sa mga chat. Why it is important to address cybersecurity threats? Compromising of private data. Of course, yung private data natin is very important. Costly recovery of expenses. Weaken client trust, reputation. Widespread lack of understanding and training. That's why it is very important for every organization to implement security awareness, cybersecurity awareness sa mga empleyado nila. And lack of groundwork for new IT initiatives. Overwhelmed technical departments. So kung minsan, masyado ng maraming technology na overwhelm na yung mga IT personnel natin. And tao lang sila. Cybersecurity, meron siyang 5 pillars. And these are people, process, and technology. People, kailangan ng mga tao natin ang self-training and awareness, then professional skills and qualification, competent resources. That's why, as mentioned, as much possible, parating mayroong mga training ang mga empleyado. Then, kung hindi man siya, kung ang opisina nyo is may budget, you can even send your employee abroad or to an organization para magpa-certify, like mga certified Cisco professional, Microsoft professional, SolarWinds professional, so on and so forth. Then for the process, management, governance, best practice, IT audit, especially if your company is ISO certified organization, dapat ma-complement nyo siya ng information security management system. Yung ISMS, ito yung pinaka-biblia ng IT systems ng isang organization wherein nakadefine dito yung mga policies, standards, and procedures na dapat sinusunod ng organization. Then technology, you can deploy technology without competent people, support processes, or an overall plan. Kaya na sinabi natin kanina, dapat nating pag-aaralan, hindi ko may bagong technology ngayon sa market, dapat mag-avail tayo. Pag-aaralan natin, kailangan ba natin to? Kung bibili tayo nito, sino ba sa atin ang pwede mag-manage nito? Meron ba tayong competency to deploy this kind of technology? So holistic approaches, technological measures need processes to govern how they are used and people's training to ensure those processes are followed. So like the CIA triad, they must complement each other. Mapapansin nyo doon sa gitna, di ba? May parang mga common denominator sila between people and technology, to leverage access. So dapat meron firewall and antivirus. Then may mga mobile device management, especially these days na usong-uso ang mga BYOD or bring your own device. Then between the process and the people, phishing and stop awareness. Kung ano ba yung kung ano yung mga ipinagbabawal, yung mga nakadefine sa ISMS natin or sa mga policy na organization para later on hindi tayo sorry na oops, nag-commit ng ganitong illegal activities si employee kasi hindi niya pala alam yung process. So hindi siya aware na may ganoon. Then between technology and process, security audit and mitigation, security systems design. So yun, may risk assessment. Then we have to take note also that in order for us to come up with a good ICT security policy, information security policy, or cybersecurity policy, dapat parati siya mabalance. It has to be balanced between the people in the technology. Kasi hindi naman pwede na yung technology natin, lagay lang tayo ng lagay ng technology, then yung mga tao pala natin parang parang masyado na sila nasasakal. Nagre-reklamo. So, kailangan well-defined, well-balanced ang people, technology, and processes. So, they have to complement each other. Dito sa tatlong to, very particular sa pillars of cybersecurity ang tao. Simply because we are only as strong as our weakest link, and in every organization, ang weakest link is tao. Then it is also important to take note that zero risk does not exist. Kumbaga sa nakikita natin kasabihan ngayon, parang there's no free lunch. Like yung mga online shopping ngayon na sinasabi nila na free delivery. Huwag po tayong maniwala dyan, there's no free lunch. There's no such thing as free delivery. Embedded na lang, nakapactor in na yung cost ng delivery doon sa price ng product na ibinebenta nila. In cybersecurity, in cyber world, in cyberspace, zero risk does not exist. So hindi na lahat ngayon very risky na. Kaya tayo like ngayon sa panahon ng pandemic, hindi tayo makakalabas, hindi tayo makalabas sa mall, hindi tayo makapunta sa mall kung wala tayong face shield and face mask. Kasi risk always exists. The same sa cyber world, cybersecurity. Pag bumili tayo na isang bagay, ginamit natin ang credit card natin, hindi natin alam, may possible risk. Mahawakan pa lang yun ng kahera or ng mga teller. Then of course, it is important for us to understand at least the very basic of cybersecurity, for us to understand and know how cybercriminals think and attack could prevent us from turning into another victim. Dapat alam din natin kung ang mga cybercriminals napapag-aralan nila tayo, dapat tayo napapag-aralan din natin sila. Then moving on, accounts and criminal security. We have common elements in cyber attacks. And these are usually ransomware, malware, phishing, breaches, stalkerware, then social engineering. Very common sa atin ngayon ng malware at saka itong mga phishing and social engineering. And related doon sa sinabi natin kanina na pinag-aaralan tayo ng cybercriminal, we need to do the same sa kanila, bearing the question, if you are going to be a victim, the question is not if you are going to be a victim, but when you are going to be a victim. Alam natin na isa sa mga araw na to, posible tayong mabiktima ng mga cybercriminal. So kaya kailangan paghandaan natin. We never expect na magkakaroon ng COVID. We never expect na the government, the business will work, even the people are working from home. We never expect na ang mga ganitong klase ng seminar mangyayari lang through virtual. Unlike dati, masipag tayo mag-attend ng mga seminars kasi pupunta tayo sa mga hotel, maraming mga souvenirs, masarap ang pagkain, may mga raffle. So, in the same manner, hindi natin alam kung kailan tayo pwedeng mabiktima ng cyber criminals. So, lagi po tayong maging handa. Then, how to be cyber safe? Do your part. Cybersecurity starts with you. So, ang cybersecurity, excuse me, responsibility nating lahat. Ang cybersecurity in any organization, hindi natin pwedeng ipasa lang sa mga IT personnel. Lahat po tayo component na cybersecurity. And as part of doing cyber safe, ito yung mga elemento na pwede nating basically tandaan at i-apply. Like, use strong password, keep your software up to date, think before you click, use safe network, and use multi-factor authentication. Use strong password. Dito sa caption, sorry but your password must contain an uppercase, letter, a number, a haiku, a hieroglyph, and a blood of a unicorn. So, familiar tayo. Pag nag-create tayo ng mga account, di ba? Kailangan combination. Dati 8 characters. Ngayon, 12 characters. Dati alphanumeric. Ngayon, hindi lang si alphanumeric. So, kailangan pa siya ng mga special characters or mga wildcard characters. Then, these are some of the technique to come up with a strong password. Do not use the same password for all your accounts. So, kung may marami kayong accounts, huwag mo siyang gamitan ng pare-parehong password. Kasi yung password na yon, parang ma-hack ang isang password mo, ma-hack ang isang account mo, it's going to be a single point of failure. Change your password regularly. Sa mga bangko, mga online banking, kuminsan inire-remind tayo that you only have 30 days to change your password. use a passphrase, your native language, or any other technique. So hindi na po uso ngayon yung mga gumagamit tayo ng mga Superman or Disney princesses kind of password. Hindi na uso yung mga gumagamit ng password na password 123. Hindi na uso or hindi dapat natin gamitin password ng ating birthday, pangalan ng ating nanay, pangalan ko saan tayo pinanganak, so on and so forth. So, mas maganda gumamit tayo ng native language. Kung Chabacano kayo, mas maganda kasi kaming mga Tagalog, maaaring hindi namin mahulaan kung ano talaga yung ibig sabihin ng gusto nyong gawing password. Itong passphrase naman, ito yung combinations ng mga bagay or kung anong maisip nyo. Like ngayon, nandito ako sa bahay, nakita ko refrigerator, rice cooker, and banana. So from those three things na nakita ko dito, I can come up with a combination. Or tumingala ka sa langit, may makita kang dumaan na aeroplano, Emirates. Then tumingin ka sa kalye, may nakita kang Jollibee. Then bigla ka na namang naisip, tumingin ka sa kesame mo, may nakita kang lizard. So from those things na nakita mo, maisip mo, you can jot down ng combination na pwedeng maging password mo. And lastly, you can use to secure a password manager. Ang password manager, marami itong open source. Isa dito is yung mga Passball, KeyPass. So these are open source. Pwede mo silang ma-customize. Pwede mong i-group ang mga password mo. Like for example, password for banking, password for email, password for social media. Pwede mo siyang organize doon sa sa portal na yon. Ang kailangan mo lang dito is magkaroon ka ng isang universal password para ma-open mo itong facility and utility na ito. And naka-encrypt ang mga informations na in-store nyo dito sa password manager. Especially ngayon, napakadami nating mga password na mini-maintain. So sometimes hindi na natin maalala yung mga password natin, kaya kung minsan nalalak na yung mga account. Then, and how do we protect our device? Be careful what you plug into your devices. Don't mindlessly install third-party apps directly from the internet. Don't forget to patch your operating systems and update your apps and programs. So kung minsan kasi nangyayari sa atin, install lang tayo ng mga applications sa computers natin. Nauso sa Face app, naglagay tayo. Nauso sa TikTok, naglagay tayo. Yung mga ganong mga applications, hindi natin alam. Especially these applications are free. Maaari siya maka-apekto ng performance ng ating mga devices. And we never know, baka meron din siyang malware. Kasi yung mga free software na yan, kumisan sila yung mga conduit to inject malwares or viruses sa ating mga gadget. Then yung mga third-party applications naman, usually this third-party application, sila yung mga applications na kumukuha ng mga data. Most of them, if not all, are possible cause ng mga data breach. Then don't forget to patch your operating systems. Kasi yung mga operating systems, make it a habit na gawin nating mag-update, mag-check tayo ng mga updates and patch natin ang ating mga devices, mga computer. Kasi kung hindi tayo magpapatch, hindi tayo mag-update ng mga patches and updates, maaari silang maging conduit for vulnerability na system natin siya. Yung mga viruses, pwede nilang exploit, maging security hole yung hindi updated na system, hindi updated na patches na ating mga devices. So it is very important parati nating i-check kung may available update para sa ating mga devices, laptop, or mobile phone. Kasi itong mga updates na to, usually kino-correct nila yung mga security issues na nakikita nila or pinag-aralan nila based on the past reports. Think before you click. Madalas, I'm very sure nakaka-receive tayo ng mga mail na you have been selected to join this raffle. Then may mga link or nanalo ka sa isang lottery tapos may link na naman nakalagay doon. So kung hindi ka familiar sa nagpadala ng email na yon, better think before you click. Dahil karamihan, ito yung mga tinatawag na mga bait or ito yung mga source ng mga phishing. So, ingat-ingat po tayo. Especially kung yung email, unfamiliar email, may kasama siyang attachment, particularly mga exe file. Ingat to the highest level po tayo pag ganon, especially exe file dahil pwede itong maging source para makorrupt ang inyong systems, ma-breach ang inyong mga data, or kung may mga important information kayo stored on your device, manakaw ang inyong identity. Then, in order for us to have a secure network, although in our home, hindi naman kailangan lahat yan, meron tayo, but isa sa on organizational level perspective, firewall is very important, and even the password. So sa pamilya natin, di ba? Kung minsan pag gumagawa tayo ng mga wifi natin sa bahay, karamihan ng mga bahay ngayon, may tayo may mga broadband facility na rin tayo sa loob ng bahay natin. Dapat bawat isa sa miyembro ng pamilya nag-access ng wifi natin sa bahay, may password. Then if possible, lagyan mo rin siya na may mga level. So you can do pwede mo siyang i-divide, pwede mo siyang lagyan ng access level. Then also as part of security, mayroon tinatawag na multi-factor authentication. So what the user know, password, then verification and access. Isang example dito, makarelate tayong lahat. Land Bank i-access. Gusto kong mag-transfer ng pera for my mother's allowance. Hindi siya, yung account ng mother ko is a different bank. Like I'm using Land Bank, then siya PNB or BDO. Humihingi siya ng verification process. So mayroong multi-factor authentication. In one authentication process na ginagawa nila is nagpapadala sila ng series of number. Pinapadala nila doon sa registered mobile number na naka-enroll sa iAccess. So that is a part of verification. Then once you enter that and validate nila, that will give you access para ma-push through yung fund transfer mo. So isa yun sa mga multi-factor, isang halimbawa yun ng multi-factor authentication. Then I'm very sure kung magamit kayo ng mga credit card, usually may mga may mga multi-factor authentication din na ginagawa si credit card. So it has something you have, something you are, and something you know. Like for example, when isa sa mga ginagamit pag isang example ng authentication din, pwede ka rin tawagan mismo ng bangko or ng company. Like for example, bumibili ka ng airline ticket and nasa ibang bansa ka, kumisan nagdududa sila kaya tumatawag sila. Kaya usually it is advisable, for example, when you are going abroad and may plano kang gumamit ng debit card mo or credit card mo, you call the bank prior to your departure to tell the bank, to inform the bank na on this particular date, nasa United States ako and I intend to use my credit card. And that is a part of security. Para if ever nandun ka na sa Amerika or wherever you are in the world, pag ginamit mo yung credit card, hindi nila i-deny yung paggamit mo. Nangyari na kasi sa akin dati to nung first time ko mag-travel, then isa pa lang ang credit card ko noon. I want to buy something, kaya lang hindi ko pa alam na dapat ganun na inform ko yung bangko na deny ako. Then when I come home, tinawagan ko yung bangko, then sinabi nga nila sa akin na ganun pala yung process. Of course, ngayon madali na lang dahil mga bangko ngayon meron na sila mga chatbot na tinatawag. So doon pa lang pwede ka na makipag-usap sa kanila to request such kind of adjustment or security facility mechanism. Pwede nating pasto. Then, as part of security tools, pwede na kung ang ating organization is malaki ang budget and really necessary, kaya pwede nating i-employ ang mga yan. Otherwise, we can just select kung ano talagang applicable sa atin. Like sa gateway, parati nating naririnig firewall. Ano bang purpose ng firewall? Mag-imagine na lang tayo yung mga buildings natin, mga bahay natin. May mataas na pader na nasa pagitan, di ba? Ang tawag, lalo especially mga bahay, mga townhouse, dikit-dikit, usually they have firewall. Ang purpose na is panangga na sunog. The same sa firewall. Ang purpose ng firewall sa IT, kung may mga cyber attack, may mga cyber threats, si firewall muna ang sasala sa kanya bago makapasok doon sa main core or main system natin. Then intrusion and prevention systems, parang ano to ito mga sistema na to, ito yung parang nakikinig. May mga parang mga abnormalities silang na-observe using the IP, may mga facility ginagamit na na-identify kaagad itong mga intrusion and prevention systems na to. Kumisan may mga tools na para mga combo tools na. Then web security, email security, malware. Fortunately, karamihan ng mga email facility ngayon, they have a security technology called DMARC. And luckily, if we are using Yahoo, if we are using Gmail, meron na silang mga embedded security technology like that. Then, endpoint security, dati is, ang very common lang is antivirus, but now karamihan is kino-cover na rin nila yung mga anti-malware, anti-phishing. So, ang tawag na nila dito sa ngayon is mga EDR. Endpoint Detection and Response System. So, may mga products ngayon na na rin sila, kung sa kape may mga 3-in-1, sa mga products na rin, meron na rin mga tipong mga ganon, mga 3-in-1. Then, of course, identity and access management and multi-factor authentication, medyo matataas na level na ito ng mga facility. Sorry. From the picture itself, ano yung masasabi niyo dito? How would you describe this picture? Anong gustong ipakita nito? Nitong larawan na to?
Pinapakita daw, sir, is smart city, Wi-Fi connection, wireless connection, and then we are interconnected, connection of Wi-Fis, access Wi-Fi, free Wi-Fi, Wi-Fi for all, online world, and same lang yung iba, sir.
Very good. That means Wi-Fi is everywhere. Ngayon, if Wi-Fi is everywhere, there is risk of using public unsecured Wi-Fi. Pag pumasok tayo sa mall, parati tayong sumasagap agad ng Wi-Fi. Pag kumain tayo sa restaurant, paglapit sa atin ng waitress or waiter, nagtatanong tayo, may Wi-Fi ba dito? Pag pumasok tayo sa Starbucks, Wi-Fi din, di ba? So, Wi-Fi is really everywhere. We always asking for complementary account and password. Ngayon, ano yung mga risk of using public Wi-Fi, unsecured Wi-Fi? Pag ibig sabihin, complementary account and password, bawat kumakain sa restaurant na yon, bawat umiinom ng kape sa Starbucks na yon, is getting complementary account and password. Hindi natin alam, isa pala sa mga pumapasok na yon or humingi ng password na yon is a disgruntled someone or a cyber criminal. Meaning, dahil complementary account siya, public Wi-Fi, unsecured, hindi matibay yung pundasyon ng kanyang security. Yung kanyang Wi-Fi setting is madaling ma-hack, madaling mapasok. That means that is a good avenue for cyber criminals to perform man-in-the-middle attack or network snooping. Man-in-the-middle attack, for example, pumasok ako sa Starbucks, habang uminom ako ng kape, nag-browse ako. By 2022, siguro maluwag na mag-travel, makapag-browse at makapag-book nga ng ticket na eroplano. Then habang nagkakape ka, nakakita ka ng promo na piso sale, nag-book ka, ginamit mo yung credit card. And you are hooked to the public unsecured Wi-Fi. Hindi mo alam na yung katabi mo pala is a cyber criminal. And while you are doing online booking, nangyayari na yung man-in-the-middle attack. So while you are transacting, yung connection mo is nasasagap na niya. And you never know, habang ibinigay mo doon sa website ng travel agency yung credentials mo ng credit card, naman in the middle attack ka na. Nakuha na nila yung information. Tapos, may mga pwede ring mayari na network snooping. If you are not using your credit card as a form of payment, may mga facility kasi na pwede ring transfer through GCash. Pwede kang ma-network snoop na instead, akala mo yung ina-access mong website is still the website. Actually, it's really the website nung airline or travel agency. But since na mayroong cyber criminal na naka-snoop na sa loob, pwede nilang i-direct yung transaction mo going to their bait account. Na all the while, pagkaalam mo, magpapatransfer ka doon pa rin sa account ng agency, ng travel. Pero since na open facility nga, open free, unsecured yung Wi-Fi, natunugan ka na kaagad ng cyber criminal, na divert na niya kaagad seamless. Seamless na i-redirect nila yung information, yung signal going to their set up bait na account. Then also, a public unsecured Wi-Fi is also a very good avenue for malware injection and distribution. Kasi yung mga cybercriminal, usually ginagamit nila yung mga facility na yan para hindi sila matrace. And of course, yung mga bogus Wi-Fi hotspot, mga pain, mga bait. Yung mga cybercriminal kasi, pwede silang gumawa ng parang incognito. Gagayahin nila yung pangalan ng hotspot mismo doon sa loob. Tapos ikaw naman, hindi ka masyadong aware, carefree ka, so nakita mo na siguro itong open itong hotspot na to, ito siguro yung free Wi-Fi ni Starbucks. So naglagin ka doon. Pero hindi natin alam, hindi mo alam na yun pala yung bogus Wi-Fi hotspot. Once na maglagin ka, ayun, huli ka na sa bitag nila. Whatever you do on the internet, kuha na nila kaagad. I'm very sure marami sa atin relate dito sa mga activities na ito na ginagawa natin pag nasa labas tayo and nakikisagap tayo ng free Wi-Fi. So how to be safe when using public Wi-Fi? Be aware na ang mga public Wi-Fi is inherently insecure. So yung foundation ng kanya security is medyo mahina dahil nga for public use siya. Remember, any device could be at risk. So once na mag-login ka na, aware naman tayo na may risk talaga. So treat all Wi-Fi links with suspicion. So, parati natin isipin na pag nag-login tayo sa Wi-Fi na to, maaaring ma-hack ako. So, maglalagin ba ako or hindi? Depende. Try to verify if it is a legitimate wireless connection. Commonly, pwede natin gawin dito is approach natin yung like for example, if you're in a restaurant, approach natin yung waiter, tanong natin talaga sa kanya, ano yung pangalan ng legitimate Wi-Fi SSID or yung hotspot available for the user. Use a VPN, itong virtual private network, may mga facility nito, may mga freeware na pwede tayong ma-download. And pwede natin pag-aralan itong mga freeware na to. Ang function kasi itong virtual private network na to is instead na yung device mo is directly kumukonect sa internet, mayroon siya parang in-between na parang sasalain niya muna yung mga information, ini-encrypt niya yung data, yung tinatransmit mong data para kung may mga cyber criminals na nang-i-snoop or nang-i-eavesdropping, hindi nila makukuha o mananakaw yung data mo. Then, avoid using a specific type of website. Consider using your mobile phone. Kung may data ka, as much as possible, mag-data ka na lang. Huwag ka na lang gumamit ng mga free Wi-Fi, especially if you are in the mall and you want to do online shopping. So talagang delikado. Then things to know about public and private Wi-Fi. Public Wi-Fi are unsecured, found in public areas. For casual surfing, not recommended for online banking, online shopping. So, yun po, tandaan natin ha. Hindi siya recommended for online banking, online shopping. Kung meron sa atin na nagbabiyahe papunta sa trabaho natin and karamihan sa mga bus ngayon, di ba, may mga Wi-Fi na. Habang nagpapatay po tayo ng oras sa traffic at naisipan natin na mag-browse sa Lazada, sa Shopee, then mag-book ng mga ticket, as much as possible, huwag po natin gamitin yung free Wi-Fi ng bus. Gamitin na lang po natin ang data. Are prone to a host of cyber threat. However, public Wi-Fi is a great tool for professionals on the go. Especially this pandemic time na naka-work from home tayo. Actually, some people, especially those people in the private sector, they don't call it work from home. They call it work from anywhere. Kasi in private, it's not necessarily nasa bahay sila eh. And they can be anywhere. For the private Wi-Fi, usually private Wi-Fi are encrypted. That requires password, codes, and email addresses. Are relegated to places such as home and security-minded businesses like bank, law firms, and hospital. So, yung mga nasa bangko, mga nasa hospital, usually ano siya, mga private Wi-Fi. Then those are trusted for paying bills in online shopping dahil meron silang encryption mechanism. Then they usually have a secured layer of security. May mga firewall sila. And beneficial from a security standpoint, may guarantee tayo na hindi nila share yung mga confidential information natin. Of course, sa bank, parang sa bangko kasi as much possible, we are not allowed to use cell phone. Now, let's move to social engineering. As mentioned kanina, cybersecurity is everyone's responsibility. Say something, see something, say something. What is social engineering? Dati alam lang natin, civil engineering, computer engineering, mechanical engineering. Ano pa ba? Ngayon, meron na social engineering. So, social engineering at its core is manipulating a person into knowingly or unknowingly giving up information, essentially hacking into a person to steal valuable information. Social engineering is psychological manipulation. Sabi ko nga kanina, budol-budol. So, trickery or deception for the purpose of information gathering. So, maraming technique para ma-social engineer ka. It is a way for criminals to gain access to information systems. The purpose of social engineering is usually to secretly install spyware, other malicious software, or to trick person into handing over password and or other sensitive financial or personal information. So, kuminsan may mga instances, may tumatawag sa atin, they are pretending to be a bank representative, nagbe-verify na account natin. It's a big no-no na ibibigay natin sa kanila yung credit informations natin. Dahil usually ang mga bangko, it's a big no para sa mga representative nila to ask online, to ask over the phone kung ano yung mga credentials, informations mo na nakasulat sa mga account relative to your account. But kuminsan tayo parang na-hypnotize and nadadala tayo sa galing nilang magsalita. Kaya marami pa rin ang mga nabibiktima ng social engineering. Dahil mga trade to Usually, itong mga nag-social engineers, pinag-aaralan muna nila tayo. Nakukuha nila yung mga habit natin, mga places na pinupunta natin, mga pangalan ng kaibigan natin. Pinapag-aaralan nila tayo before pursue their planned attack. And what they are looking for. Oops, may na-miss tayo. Social engineering is one of the most effective routes to stealing confidential data for organization. Then may mga nagpatunay na most employees are unaware that they are being manipulated. So hindi lang alam natin, hindi lang natin napapansin, hindi tayo conscious na yung palang mga kumakausap sa atin, yung mga lumalapit sa atin, na social engineer na tayo. Like for example, nakatayo ka sa labas na opisina mo. Tapos uminom ka ng kape o nagsisigarilyo ka, may stranger na lumapit sa iyo na tinapi ka sa balikat. Pare, kumusta ka na? Then mabibigla ka, masasya ka, then akala mo talaga magkaibigan kayo. Then sasabihin niya, Dre, sino na nga yung pangalan ng nung kahera nyo? Tapos then kasi wala kang kaalam-alam hindi mo alam na social engineering na pala yun. Sinabi mo yung pangalan ng kahera nyo. Then anong floor siya? Gusto ko siyang makausap pero gusto ko muna mag-set up ng appointment. Pwede ko bang malaman ng local number niya? Then mga so on and so forth, nagtanong na siya ng mga information. So that is one of the approach for social engineering. And social engineering, what are they looking for? They usually obtaining simple information from you as like pangalan ng alaga mo, where you are from, the places you have been visited, and so on and so forth. And dahil napagtanungan ka, isipin mo sa sarili mo na you are a walking computer full of valuable information. So lahat na makukuha nilang information sa iyo, pwede nilang magamit for their planned cyber attack. What is your maiden name? What was your mother's name? Where were you born? So these are some of the questions. Some have a secret question. You have to answer it. Then there are some social engineering tactics to watch for. So some of them are pretexting, creating a fake scenario, phishing, fake website, and fake pop-ups. As mentioned, itong phishing ang madalas na nangyayari. Then itong mga fake websites na especially sa mga bangko. Ginagaya nila yung website talaga ng isang bangko, then kung hindi ka magiging mapanuri or hindi ka magiging conscious, maglalagay ka na lang ng basta-basta. So whenever we are browsing, as much possible, parati nating titingnan, magma-mouse over tayo, titingnan natin yung kanyang URL is meron siyang HTTPS or parati siyang may meron siya yung logo ng kandado. to make sure na secured yung website na pupunta natin. Then how do you protect yourself? Do not open messages or attachment from unknown sources. Do not click dubious or unverified links. Change your password regularly. Itong dubious or unverified links, like for example, it really happens na since na itong mga nagsusocial engineer, napapag-aralan nila kung sino tayo, kung sino mga kaibigan natin, sometimes they are using incognito, pretending to be our friend. So they can copy the name of our friend. And for example, nakatanggap tayo ng email na ang sender is your friend mo and medyo duda ka, ang pwede mong gawin sa kanya is tawagan mo yung kaibigan mo na yon to make sure, to verify kung talaga nagpadala siya ng ganong email at ng ganong attachment. Then, be careful in interacting with other online people because we can be anybody pag nasa internet tayo. Ako, pwede akong maging si Joe Biden pag nasa internet. So we can be anybody. Then, as much possible, install security devices. And be careful what you plug into your devices. Huwag tayong install ng install. Huwag tayong lagay na lagay ng mga applications sa ating mga devices. Do not install third-party applications dahil nga usually ang third-party apps nagiging conduit siya for malware, spyware, so on and so forth. And only add people you know. And if you are suspecting that you have been attacked or report and ask help from the authorities. Mamaya, ipapakita ko kung kanino tayo pwede mag-report. Then, mobile devices, how to protect your smartphone. Then we have the do's and don'ts. So make sure the OS and software are up to date at all times. Dahil nga sabi nga natin, kung hindi updated ang mga software and patches na ating gadget, security hole siya. So vulnerability siya yung gadget. Pwede siya maging security hole for infiltration. Then download applications from reputable sites and closely review permission requests. Make sure to check the feedback from other users before installing the program from App Store. So usually, di ba may mga review naman? So make sure, basahin muna natin yung review. Then from then, check and balance tayo. Kailangan ko ba ito or hindi? Pag-aralan natin mabuti. Use a strong complex password. Sabi nga natin kanina, passphrase, then as much possible 12 characters. Then we can also use password generator facility. Kung gagamit tayo ng password manager, they also have feature for password generator. Then use a security app applicable for your device. Yung mga lumalabas na mga devices ngayon, usually may mga built-in security application na siya. Kailangan na lang natin siyang i-activate. Then turn off Bluetooth and other connections when not in use. So of course, Bluetooth para hindi masagap yung connection mo kasi in Bluetooth kung naka-open yung data mo tapos naka-open yung tethering mo to become hotspot, pwede rin siya maging conduit para infiltrate or maging subject for cyber attack. Then don'ts. Don't jailbreak your phone, especially if you are using iPhone or Apple product. Of course, ang jailbreak kasi is may mga security feature, and if you jailbreak it, mawawala na rin yung warranty. Then do not leave your mobile phone attended in public places. Kasi isa sa mga pwedeng maging conduit for cyber threat then is manakaw ang telepono mo, and usually ang mga telepono natin, ang daming mga naka-stored na information natin dyan. Kahit mga pictures. And especially sa mga pictures, I would say, like for example, pwede kang sa darknet, pwedeng ma-profile. Pwede kang ma-profile even though hindi nila alam yung mga pangalan mo, using the pictures ng mga taong kaibigan mo, yung mga pictures na nasa tabi mo. There are some technology now that they can identify, they can profile who these people are. Then from then on, pwede na lang unti-unting makuha yung identity mo. Then, enable your Wi-Fi ad hoc mode. Yung ibang mga tao na kailangan always online, isang security na ginagawa nila is, di ba may mga choices tayo ngayon, 3G, 4G, 5G. Yung iba to make sure na hindi isang ginagawa nilang protection when not really in important business and kailangan lang nilang naka-online mode, ang ina-activate nila is yung pinakamababang level ng signal, 3G or 4G. Kung may 2G pa ata dati or parang ganun. May isang friend ako na ang expertise na isa forensic talaga. Sabi ko parati kung nakikita siyang online, pero hindi ko naman siya matawagan using the Viber. Yun pala, yun ang kanyang technique na ginagawa. Binababa niya yung kanyang bandwidth mode para hindi siya maging subject for cyber attack. Related na rin to kasi ito applicable naman to sa mga devices. So anyway, you are going to have these materials. Basahin na lang natin to later on. Okay. So dito sa picture na to, paano niyo siya pwedeng ma-describe? Amazon, Uber, Microsoft, Google, Facebook, Tesla. So malalaking company to that they are usually handling lots of data of people. Tapos nasa dagat, mga to, may mga rigger. So kung ikaw, makikita mo itong picture na to, anong maiisip mo? Itong mga rigger, anong generate nila? So from this picture, anong slogan, anong sentence ang pwede nating mabuo? No man is an island.
Data mining daw, sir. Data centers, data fishing, gathering of information, different companies with different cybersecurities, data factories, data mining, pool of datas, among us, technology, data. Yun, sir. Marami po, sir. Ilang answer sa chat. Thank you po.
So isa doon is pool of data. Ngayon, mining. So isa sa mga pag narinig natin ng mining, mai-relate natin kaagad ang mining sa ginto. But since nasa dagat ito, tapos may mga rigger, mining, they are mining oil. And now we are comparing data to oil. Therefore, we could say that data is more valuable than oil and is the most expensive asset in the world. Dati ginto, tapos naging data. Ngayon, dati ginto, naging oil, ngayon data. Data na ang the most expensive and the most valuable asset in the world. Parang dati, di ba? Hierarchy of basic needs. Food, clothing, shelter. Ngayon, kasama na ang internet doon sa hierarchy, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So, the same dito, the picture describes that data is more valuable than oil and is the most expensive asset in the world. Bakit? Ang data kasi, from data, pwede ka mag-generate ng information. So from that information, you can do certain kind of business. And since ang data natin ngayon is parati natin ibinibigay na, especially pag pumapasok tayo sa mga mall, pag hindi ka vaccinated, kailangan pa mag-fill up ng mga forms. And some of them, they're even asking some personally identifiable information or mga PII, which is dapat hindi na nila kinukuha yon, considering na mayroon tayong Data Privacy Act. Now, the only question now is, since na hindi mapigilan na may mga instances, kailangan nating magbigay talaga ng data for a particular purpose. The question is, how do we keep? How to make our information safe? First is secure our devices and network. So as much as possible, encrypt data. Pag ang data kasi is encrypted, hindi siya basta-basta may snoop or may intercept ng mga hacker or cyber criminal. Backup data. It is very important na parati tayo may backup data. May mga technique ng mga pagba-backup ng data. It depends on the category of your data. It depends on the importance of your data. But we always make sure na mayroon tayong backup. Cloud backup. Cloud backup is ideal for doing a backup ng mga regular non-sensitive informations in document na kailangan nating accessible anytime, anywhere. But it is advisable not to put our personal sensitive information sa cloud backup. Another is we install anti-malware facility or program. There are lots of anti-malware na freeware, but pag-aralan nyo yung mabuti, tingnan nyo yung mga review. Kasi kung minsan yung mga anti-malware, mayroon silang mga hidden agenda. Make all computers, hard drives unreadable. Ito. Very common ito sa ating mga organization. Pag nagpapalit tayo ng mga laptop, nagpapalit tayo ng mga desktop, usually, na-overlook natin na kailangan pala natin siyang tanggalan ng mga laman. Kasi excited tayo. I-deliver doon sa cubicle ko bagong kahon ng laptop. So, ang ginawa ko, i-transfer ko na lang, hindi ko na i-delete yung laman ng hard drive ng luma kong computer for disposal. So, make sure, and I'm very sure part ng IT policy na before disposing your old computer, make sure to delete or reformat the hard drive before surrendering to the property section. Of course, kahit i-reformat mo siya, that is not a guarantee na ma-recover pa yung data. Kasi may mga facility ngayon na kahit na ma-format pa, pwede pa rin siyang ma-recover ng mga personnel who are involved on forensic. Like for example, suspected granted employee ka ng company, then one of their action is confiscate your computer, and natunugan mo yon. Before confiscating your computer, ginawa mo is in-reformat. So there's still a facility na kayang ma-recover kahit na na-reformat na ang iyong hard drive. Of course, there are facilities like demagnetizing yung hard drive para tuluyan na talagang hindi ma-recover or mabasa ang laman ng iyong hard drive. Then, regularly patch update operating system. Automate software updates kung medyo may katamaran tayo or malilimutin tayo mag-check kung may mga regular update. Secure wireless network with the password. So, wag lang tayong login pag may nakita tayong pre-unsecured Wi-Fi. Yung may mga password, at least there's a chance na secured sila. Then, turn off computer when not in use. Yung iba, like for example, nasa office tayo, nagmerienda tayo, as much as possible, turn off, or we can do screensaver to safeguard our laptop. But it is highly recommended, especially if you are going to be away for quite a while, to just turn it off para mawala yung connection mo sa network or sa internet. Use a firewall. Use the principle of least privilege. So as much as possible, when you are accessing website and it so happen that you are a super user or having a super admin password, it is not recommended to use that. So instead, just use ordinary account. Kasi if you are using a super admin password and snoop ang signal mo, super user ka, root password ka, so pwede kang maging conduit for the hacker to use your laptop to infiltrate your system. Hindi mo alam, hindi ikaw ang talagang liable, hindi ikaw ang talagang cyber criminal, but then naging tawag doon, naging instrumento yung laptop mo para ma-invade ng cyber hacker yung inyong IT system dahil nga super user ka. Then use passphrase rather than just the password. Then encrypt data on your USB drive and SIM card. So it is very important na encrypt natin yung mga USB drive and mga thumb drive natin dahil usually prone to disaster, prone to mawala ang mga ito eh. Madaling mahulog sa ating mga bulsa, madukot. Then disable file and media sharing if you don't need it. Then do not forget to delete all files from cloud backups. Then data protection for your mobile devices. Check and configure your app privacy setting. May kumisa kasi naka-default na yan and it is important na i-check no yung mga privacy setting. Enable remote location and device swiping, especially Apple computers, Apple mga iPhone. Remote location and device swiping, especially ang magandang purpose nitong enabling remote location is for example malaglag or manakaw. So there's a facility na pwede natin siyang ma-remote, ma-locate remotely, and kung hindi naman na natin masyadong kailangan, hindi tayo particular sa situation na kailangan makuha ko uli yung facility ko na to, itong unit ko na to, we can do device swiping. Remotely, we can erase the important data na nandoon sa telepono natin. Take care of privacy settings. So, i-explore natin ang mga privacy setting. Lock your devices. Backup mobile device data. Then, disabled automatic uploading. So, usually, ang parati natin ina-upload automatic sa mga cloud, yung mga pictures. Then, disable Bluetooth when not in use. Install antivirus and anti-malware. But some mobile devices, they already have a built-in antivirus and anti-malware. Kailangan lang natin i-check and activate. Kung minsan, kailangan lang natin mag-signify ng ano natin, parang mag-agree tayo on their condition. Check push notification settings. So, it is very important. And content filters and activity time lock. So, mahalaga yun. Be mindful of the apps we install. Huwag tayong install. Of course, put your device from being stolen, and that would complement number 2. So instead na manakaw, at least kung naka-enable yung remote location and device swiping, we can do that. Wipe devices and set to factory default setting before disposal. So kung mag-upgrade na tayo ng telepono natin and we are planning to donate or give our phone to any member of the family, make sure na i-wipe natin yung mga laman niya and set to factory default settings para fresh as parang formatted yung kanyang memory. Then, be mindful of eavesdroppers when shopping via your mobile device in public. So, magkaroon tayo ng distrust attitude that when we are using our mobile phone, parating may nakatingin, parating may nagmamatsyag sa atin. Then, identity protection, device, mobile, laptop, mobile, ngayon ang kailangan natin protection yung ating identity. Decide what you define as personally identifiable information. Ano yung mga decide natin kasi ang dami natin mga informations na pwedeng ibigay sa labas pag nagre-register tayo. Mga information like social security system, mga GSIS number natin, pag-ibig number, ano pa ba? TIN, mga ganon. Those are example of personally identifiable information. Use secure password. Then do not use PII as password. So yung mga birthday natin, huwag natin gamitin. Be cautious when sharing personal information. Pag may mga tao lumalapit sa atin asking for your information, so hindi masama kung itanong natin na para saan nyo gagamitin. Bakit po kailangan namin ibigay? Kailangan ba talaga yan? So parang we always have a distrust attitude. Like sa panahon ngayon, may tutulad natin para tayong mga daga, di ba? Dahil nga may pandemic, we have a distrust attitude that was possible. We don't want to be in a crowded places. When we are talking with somebody else, we are trying to do social distance. So it's just normal that even in IT, we develop distrust attitude. Watch out for impersonators because of phishing. Like nag-example natin kanina that you're standing outside of the office, then someone tap your shoulder asking for the name of the cashier, then followed by some follow-up questions. So be watchful for that. Share password carefully. Sabi nga natin, password password is a key. If we are going to relate password to a layman's term, password is a key. Is a key to get into your personal information. And sabi dati, password is must be secret. Password hindi dapat shareable. But at some instances, dapat naka-share din siya. Like for example, sa immediate members ng iyong family for emergency purposes. But make sure trusted mo talaga siya and may purpose ang pag-share ng password. Don't use the same password for more than one account or service. So kung gagamit tayo ng password manager, ma-organize natin ang password sa kanya and at least maiwasan natin itong using password for more than one account or service. Bakit? If you are using the same password for for different platform, ano ka siya? Parang single point of failure. Ma-access yung isa mong account, maaari na rin ma-access ni cybercriminal yung other account mo. Kasi ang thinking nila, usually they are reconnaissance. They are reconnaissance hacker, meaning pipilitin nilang masubok. Nakuha nila yung account na to for this particular password, and since they already put you under surveillance, they put you on under their study. Alam na nila kung ano yung mga facilities, mga account, and mga websites na pinapasok mo. So they will do reconnaissance hacking using your account na nahack nila, and if you are using the same account for a different platform, bingo, pasok nila lahat yon. Then watch out for the theft of government-issued identification numbers. So, part siya ng kung decided ka na i-reveal ang iyong government-issued identification number as part of your PII, so mag-isip-isip po tayo mabuti. Bakit? Karamihan nangyayari to especially I am very sure familiar kayo na may mga instances, makakarinig kayo ng mga pangyayari. Bakit ako nagkaroon ng utang sa GSIS o sa Pag-ibig? Hindi naman ako nangungutang. Tapos when you are updating your record or when later on kailangan mong mangutang na, you find out na meron ka palang utang. So more or less, someone nanakaw ang information on your government issued identifications number. So yun po, tandaan po natin. So as possible, yung mga government issued identifications number, huwag nating i-reveal unless it is extremely very, very important. Yung mga passport, yung mga TIN, yung mga GSIS number natin, driver's license number, ingatan po natin mabuti. Then don't write your password down. Dati uso-uso mga password natin nakadikit sa post-it, nasa ilalim ng keyboard, nasa ilalim ng lamesa natin. Kasi nga, especially yung mga nagsisenior moment na, nalilimutan yung mga password. So, do not write your password. Instead, kung hindi natin maiwasan, maglagay lang tayo ng mga hint or clue para sa atin. Para pag maglalagay tayo, at least, mabibigyan tayo ng idea. Ano nga ba yung password ko dito? Organize your password in logical groupings. So this is very particular if you are using the password manager. Dahil nga sabi ko kanina, i-organize natin ang password natin. Ito yung mga password ko sa social media, ito yung mga password ko sa online shopping, ito yung mga password ko for email, ito yung mga password ko for government website, or so on and so forth. Then shred all documents and statement. Especially mga statement, kasi kung wag natin silang basta-basta itatapon sa mga basurahan, kasi from those documents, pwedeng may mga criminals na makuha yung ating mga information. Then get rid of all data that no longer need. So mag-delete po tayo ng mga data, hindi tayo tambak na lang, lagay na lang ng lagay. Then yung mga hindi na natin kailangan, i-keep na natin. Kung sa bahay, nagde-declutter tayo, the same. Yung mga informations natin, mga identity protection, as part of our identity protection, mag-declutter din tayo ng mga old and no longer need data. Credit card, when we are using credit card to protect, whenever possible, sign when using debit card. So, mag-sign na lang po tayo. Do not enter the PIN. Sign up for payment alerts for transactions. So, magandang facility to ng mga bangko ngayon na kung may mga kung may mga email alert sila, usually nagpapadala sila ng email sa atin. Review your statement regularly. And kasi di ba usually ang mga statement parang may certain number of days na when they don't receive feedback coming from you on a certain number of days, that means you are agree and good as deal na yung ipinadala nilang transaction sa iyo. So whatever transactions are registered, whatever amount na nakalagay doon, yun na yun. Then keep an eye for small transactions. So kasi it's really possible na we never know na nahack na pala tayo, and hackers usually don't do one time big time. Sometimes nagsisimula sila in using your tip information, especially yung mga debit and credit card, and using small transactions which are not yung hindi basta-basta nahalata. Yung parang hindi natin nabibigyan ng pansin. 10 piso, 5 piso, 100 pesos. Kung minsan, hindi natin sila napapansin na. And cyber criminals could be the retailers also, sad to say that. So kung minsan, yung mga empleyado mismo ng bangko o yung mga retailers, pwede sila yung maging cyber criminal. Pwede nilang magamit yung informations na mismo galing sa kanila. Like for example, may binibili sila, sinacharge sila sa account natin, account nyo, na hindi natin namamalayan. And like in layman's term, like for example, may kakilala ka sa hospital, medical technologies, and gusto mong magpa-blood chem. Then nag-offer yung kaibigan mo. Sige, i-blood chem kita para libre lang. And sabi nga natin kanina, there's no such thing as free land. Hindi alam ng mga pumapasok sa ospital na yon na yung palang blood chem na ginawa nung medtech na yon doon sa kanyang kaibigan, hindi naman talaga sa free dahil gumagamit ng mga agent, and ang mga agent may mga cost, inaano lang nila itong mga mafia ng hospital is pinapactor in nila, isinasama nila, kumbaga sinasabog nila yung charges into others patients' account. Kaya kung hindi tayo magpanuri, talagang malamang nalulusutan tayo. Then shop online on trusted website. Ngayon kasi ang dami mga websites na lumalabas di ba? Especially sa mga Facebook. Ngayong araw na to, ang trending, mga lamesa, mga study table. Ngayon, no isang araw, ang trending, mga sashimi. So, ang daming mga nag-o-offer ng mga online selling. Then they have website. And as much as possible, to protect our credit, we only shop those sa mga trusted website. What are those trusted website? Like mga malalaking website, Amazon, Google, eBay. I think Lazada and Shopee are okay. Then it is very important na, of course, di ba sabi nga natin kanina, it's not the question is when we are going to be a victim. So relate doon itong number 6. As much as possible, we use low balance debit credit card for online purchases. Kasi nga hindi natin alam kung kailan tayo magiging biktima. So if ever na magiging biktima tayo, hindi masyadong malaking abala or hindi masyadong malaki ang casualty kung ang ginagamit nating debit or credit card medyo maliit lang yung account. Ako, ang style ko, like for example, meron akong debit card nga na ganito na ginagamit. And pag napunta din ako sa abroad, may particular debit and credit card lang akong ginagamit para in case na magkaroon ng trouble, madaling ma-mitigate, then isolated case lang. Then, social network data protection. Malamang relate tayo dito. Do not share too much information. Huwag po natin gawin buhay natin na social media. Huwag natin ilagay ang buhay natin sa social media as much as possible. I-limit lang natin yung mga informations nilalagay natin. Huwag bawat galaw ng buhay natin i-post natin sa social media. Kasi when we're putting our life on social media, vulnerable tayo. Customized privacy setting. As much as possible, piliin natin yung highest level of privacy. Then, do not trust friends who claim to be or scammers. Ang mga example nito na social media, usong-usong ngayon na may magpo-post na hospital yung anak, humihingi ng ganito, i-deposit sa ganitong GCash account, or pretending to be your friend, nasa Nigeria siya, nanakawan siya, and walang-wala na siyang pera. Then humingi siya ng konting tulong, mag-deposit sa kanyang ganitong account. So, maging mapanuri po ulit tayo. There are lots of scammers. Marami nagmamasquerade. So, again, invoke natin distrust attitude. Then, block suspicious or mga shady FB users. Then, privacy settings. Know your friends are. Know who your friends are, random, especially yung mga nagra-random request. So magtaka po tayo kung alam natin itong kaibigan natin na to, friend ko na to, bakit nagre-request na naman siya, nai-add na naman siya. Kung may mga ma-encounter na mga ganon, as much possible, tawagan natin yung kaibigan natin na yun to verify kung talagang siya yung nagre-request na yun or meron siya, bakit nagre-request na naman siya. So to let him inform also na meron siyang double. Then contact the social network to gain access and let your friends know if you have been hacked. So in case ma-compromise yung account mo, social media account mo, pwede mo siyang ma-regain, but you have to call the social network manager facility. May mga information lang silang tatanungin, may mga kailangan kang i-accomplish na mga form para ma-regain mo yung access. And of course, tell your friends that your account have been hacked. It is very important. Kasi ngayon, maraming hindi lang sila na-hack, yung iba namatay na, but still active pa rin yung kanilang mga social media account. And online data protection, avoid using public Wi-Fi for sensitive transactions like the online banking and online shopping. Website privacy settings. So as much as possible, explore and understand the privacy control. Do not forget to sign out in online services especially if you are using a public computer, public like sa mga cafe. So wag pong kalilimutan mag-sign out. Or even sa mga gadget natin at home when we are doing online business. Sometimes nalilimutan natin na mag-sign out. Salamat na lang at mayroon silang facility na if they sense na idle ka for a certain period of time, automatic ilalog out ka nila. Then do not open emails from unknown source. Use two-factor authentication. Do not believe everything you read. Dahil nga sabi nga natin kanina, some of them are just muggers or mga masquerading. Use secured website for sensitive transaction. Be mindful of online reputation, so we can be anybody when online. So huwag po tayo magpapaniwala. Do not download from untrustworthy website. Then consider using a disposable email. This is very important. So, like for example, when you are doing a research, when you are doing a group study, na hindi naman sila usually pang matagalan, na magiging bahagi na talaga ng pang-araw-araw na buhay mo, para mga limited engagement, it is ideal, it is highly recommended that we create disposable email. So para pagkatapos ng mga event na yon, pagkatapos ng mga ganong assignment mo, wala na. Pwede mo nang i-drop yung email na yon. And this is also a part of organizing your email. Do not save password in your browser. Of course, kahit ako mismo, guilty ako dito dahil it's very convenient, but it is a risky habit. Now, when you open your computer, you just click the icon, then dire-diretso ka na. So, it's a big no-no. As much as possible, do not save the password. Then, use different email account for different contexts. So, yung single point of failure. So, when you are using the same password for all other contexts, so it's a recipe for disaster. Then take stock of digital footprint. So delete unused account. Kung may mga account ka na hindi mo na ginagamit, I know some people they have lots of Facebook account kasi ang reason nila is hindi ko na maalala yung password ko on my previous account. Nag-create na lang ng panibagong account, then happen again, nag-create. So as much as possible, take an inventory of your account, take an inventory of your social media, your email account, and mga website accounts na pinuntahan mo na sa tingin mo nag-iwan ka ng mga digital footprints or yung mga information, delete those unused account. Then, do not use social media credentials to sign in to a third-party site. So, kumisan, maraming ganito maraming mga ganito na especially yung mga pop-ups na they will just ask for your social media Twitter account in order to log in. So these are just hacking of information. So wag po tayong as much as possible, wag nating gawing habit ng ganun. Be careful when searching categories known for malware. Ang isa po sa mga mga sites is mga mahilig tayo mag-search ng mga websites ng mga paborito nating artista, mga event. So usually diyan tumatambay yung mga hackers. Diyan sila nang i-snip, din sila nang pipish ng mga information. Never ever send account and password information in an open and secured wireless connection. So, yun, ulit-ulit natin sinasabi na huwag tayo magre-reveal ng mga sensitive information and mga personally, mga PIIs natin when using unsecured wireless. Store mo sensitive data locally or removable stored devices. So, again, huwag natin ilagay yung mga sensitive information natin sa mga cloud. So, as much as possible, gumamit tayo ng mga portable devices. But remember, these devices, especially ito mga USB, is madali silang mawala. So, take extra precautionary measures as well. And regular password change regularly, sabi nga natin, but might not actually necessary. Kasi ang mga hackers naman is once they hack your password, they do not intend to use your password on a long time basis. So gagamitin na nila yan one time, then from that makakapag-establish na sila ng mga footprints inside your system wherein they can penetrate, they can go inside your system without necessarily using your old credentials. Then use safe, reputable email provider that use DMARC technology to stop phishing. Sabi ko nga kanina, we are lucky that we are using Google and Yahoo, and meron din silang mga DMARC technology. And for the data breach protection, change password following a data breach. So if you think your system has been compromised, mag-change ka agad tayo ng password. Verify the legitimacy of the breach. So as much possible, kung nabalita mo na si ganitong si bangko, like si BDO, si BPI, nagkaroon ng mga data breach, tawagan mo siya para ma-verify talaga kung totoo. And request a new card if compromised. Although itong mga bangko naman talaga, like for example, na-breach talaga sila. Sila na mismo yung nag-initiate na palitan yung credit card or debit card na ini-issue nila sa inyo. And number 4 is same. Do not ignore reports from friends about mysterious email coming from your account. So, kumisan, dahil nga na-infiltrate na tayo, invade na tayo ng mga cyber threats, kuminsan yung email natin, nagpapadala ng mga email account, mga spam account to our friend. So, kung may mag-feedback sa'yo ng mga kaibigan mo na yung email mo is nagpapadala ng email on this subject, be alert kasi possible na yung email mo, yung account mo has been compromised. Then educate yourself on the warning signs of a potential breach. So part ng cybersecurity natin is we have to educate. We have to learn. We alamin natin kung ano yung mga scenario, mga characteristics ng mga possible threats. Or find out why the breach or hack occurred. What went wrong? Saan ba tayo nagkamali? Even on ourselves. Siguro naging maluwag yung mga privacy settings ko, na naging open. Lahat ng information ko, ini-reveal ko na sa social media ko. So, lahat ng mga PIIs ko, i-declare ko sa ganitong event. So, what went wrong? So, self-recollection. So, cybersecurity is not expensive compared to the cost of having a cyber attack. So, yung mga na-mention natin kanina, yun ang mga important points na dapat natin consider for cybersecurity. So, hindi mahal na mapag-aralan, matutunan yung mga yon, mas masakit kung magiging biktima tayo ng cyber attack. Of course, if there are cyber attacks, may mga cyber threats, may mga laws tayo dito sa Pilipinas. Siguro karamihan sa atin, hindi tayo familiar sa mga laws na ito. But yes, mayroon po tayong mga batas na pwedeng makatulong sa atin in case na ma-experience natin itong mga cybercrime or sa mga cyber threats. And why the need to know and understand the existing cyber laws? Bakit kailangan nating maintindihan at maunawaan kung ano yung mga cyber laws dito sa Pilipinas? Anyone who uses the internet, computers, mobile phones, and other ICT-enabled devices has the duty to know the laws. As the old saying goes, ignorance of the law doesn't excuse anyone. Hindi na po ngayon pinapakinggan ng batas ng sorry po, hindi ko po alam, sorry po, tao lang. May mga batas na kasi ngayon umiiral na dapat aware tayo kahit anong antas natin sa buhay, dahil as long as Pilipino tayo. Dahil sabi nga natin, cybersecurity is everybody's responsibility. It is the duty of every Filipino in business community and internet users to contribute and work with government to take actions on cybercrime. Hindi lang trabaho ng DICT, hindi lang trabaho ng CICC, hindi lang trabaho ng PNP cybercrime, hindi lang trabaho ng DOJ cybercrime, hindi lang trabaho ng NBI ang pag-address, pagsawata ng mga cybercrimes na nangyayari. So tayo po as a normal citizen, a Filipino citizen, a government worker, responsibilidad nating maging kabahagi para dito sa pagpoprotect ng ating cyberspace and maintindihan itong mga cybercrime. Of course, itong cyber laws in the Philippines, may DICT Cybersecurity Bureau conduct separate sessions for this. Kaya parang pinakita lang natin kung ano yung mga existing cyber laws that we have here in the Philippines na nag-initiate pa nagsimula nung 1998 with the Access Devices Regulation Act. Then alam natin to, we have the Electronic Commerce Act, then Anti-Child Pornography, Anti-Photo Video Voyeurism Act, then Data Privacy Act, Cybercrime Prevention Act, the creation of the DICT, then the National Cybersecurity Plan, and the Access Device Regulation Act of 2019. So marami ho tayong cybersecurity related acts, and kung gusto pwedeng mag-request ulit si FC1 kung gusto nila ng mas malalim na pag-aaral tungkol dito sa mga act na to, or even by yourself getting this particular Republic Act number, you can do reading and self-study kung ano itong mga app na to. Then, what is your role in cybersecurity? As said, cybersecurity is everybody's responsibility, so it is important to protect our information at home and at work. Then when cyber attack, when you suspect that you are subject of cyber attack, these are the point of contacts na pwede nating malapitan. So in cybersecurity, in the ICT Cybersecurity Bureau, we have a division there that is the CERT-PH. Sila yung nag-handle ng mga cyber attack talaga. We have the facility there, yung Security Operations Center, and sila yung may sistema like yung minanage kong project na Cybersecurity Management System Project, na we have a facility and the ICT na kaya nating ma-detect, ma-address, ma-profile yung mga cyber security related problems and incidents. And we have a very, very good technology coming from isa sa mga kilala pagdating sa cybersecurity and intelligence. We have a technology from Israel. And we are, the Cybersecurity Bureau is working along with the PNP, with the National Privacy Commission, the DOJ, and the NBI in addressing the cybersecurity. Of course, the ICT Cybersecurity Bureau has no police authority, kaya yung mga nare-report sa amin is inaano din namin, dinidelegate din namin or ikino-course namin sa appropriate authority or yung mga tinatawag nating mga LEAs. Law Enforcement Agency, LEA. And with that, beating the time. So, gracias and buenas noches.
Thank you, Director Suarez. Thank you for that very informative and marami po kayo na-explain about the cybersecurity and how to protect ourselves against these bad elements who wants to take advantage. Maraming salamat po. And now we're going to go to our Q&A. Can we share the slide, please? So for our question and answer, there's a question here, sir. I have observed some of my colleagues in FB account, mahilig silang maglagay ng details about me, company connected, address, CP number, college, and when, etc. Is it advisable or is it considered as social engineering for spying a person? Is it advisable to post all your activities in Facebook? Example, eating in SM, dining restaurant, and where to go. What is your suggestion to those who are practicing this kind of habits? Take it away, sir.
Isa nga sa ano natin kanina na discuss natin kanina na in social media, do not put our life on social media. So as much as possible, we only limit the personal identifiable information na ilalagay natin. Kasi ang social media, Facebook is ano siya na-access, nakikita siya globally. So hindi natin alam. And ang social media is pwede siyang conduit for identity theft. So kung lahat ng information mo inilagay mo na sa FB, ano ka, very vulnerable ka na. Then yes, so it could be considered as social engineering for spying. Kung lahat ng activities mo nilalagay mo, kumakain ka sa SM restaurant or where you go. Kasi yung mga cyber criminals, mapapag-aralan nila yung mga habit mo, yung mga pattern mo. So and if these cyber criminals also have some friends who are, sabihin natin mga physical criminals, mga magnanakaw, they can they can inform their counterpart na ops, itong mga tao na to, itong pamilya na to, pag ganitong araw, pag ganitong oras pupunta sa SM, kumakain sila, and nakita ko sa Facebook nila na bago yung kanilang television, bumili sila ng mga ganitong mamahaling gamit. So if you posted those things, tapos lahat nakapublish ang information mo, vulnerable ka talaga. So napag-aralan ka nila, madali ka nilang magawa ng cyber attack or even physical attack. So it is not advisable to put your life on social media. I-limit lang po natin and huwag bawat galaw natin i-post natin. As much as possible, if you want to share photos, kung pwede messenger na lang natin sa mga specific person or group of person na gusto nating padalhan.
Thank you, sir. Another question, sir. Hi, good afternoon. I'm asking about the contact tracing on every establishment. This kind of tracing, honestly speaking, is this prone by cyber attack? Do you think this is good, or we need to have one contact tracing application across the Philippines?
Naging issue na rin to sa data Privacy Act. Kasi as much possible, it is not advisable to ask for yung mga PIIs nga. Kasi ang usual lang dapat as part of the pandemic is personal information, pangalan, telepono, address. Other like yung mga edad, dapat hindi na sila ibinibigay. Then this is good that we have one contact tracing apps across the country. I think yes, kasi may na dati, may ginawa ng application, mobile application, CDICT. Kaya lang for some reason, hindi masyado naging click . I don't know the real reason, or probably ang isa kasi sa mga ang isang reason nito is regionalistic sa mga Pilipino. Gusto nating kanya-kanya tayo, may kanya-kanya tayong atake sa bawat senaryo. Kuminsan bawat pagkuha ng information may hidden agenda . So yung iba kinestyon nila yung credibility ng applications. Yung iba is sabi nila they are asking too much information, but then dapat talaga may standard platform, standard contact tracing application across the Philippines. And also, I noticed that mula nung mauso yung mga pinipilapan ng mga information na yan, dumarating ng mga text sa akin . So, I suspect na talagang those informations ginagamit nila for some other purposes. And dapat kasi dati na may certain period lang, may certain period for the retention of information, then i-dispose na nila yon. Yes, I agree for one contact tracing apps across the Philippines, and those PIIs must not be revealed. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next question. Third question, sir. Paano po maipapakalap ang impormasyong ukol sa cybersecurity sa karamihan para sana ma-normalize ito at maprotektahan ng malawakan ang ating kapwa Pilipino?
Lalim na Tagalog . Tagasan.
Siguro, sir, Tagaluzon yan.
Paano po maipapakalap? Maipapakalap is disseminate. Paano po maipapakalap ang information o cybersecurity? Okay. Si DICT Cybersecurity Bureaus, on a regular basis, mayroon po kaming proyekto na tinatawag na part ng mga initiatives is yung mga security awareness. Nung hindi pa uso nung wala pang pandemic, the group travel a lot, nagre-reach out sila sa mga municipalities, mga LGUs, sa mga state universities and colleges, or kung sino yung mag-request na gusto nila ng mga awareness, then pumupunta sila. And dire-diretso lang naman yung awareness na yon hanggang ngayon. And isa sa magandang halimbawa is itong ginawa nga ni MC1 na imagine kahit si MC1, Mindanao cluster, pero maraming mga participants natin ngayon, maraming mga taga Luzon. So this is one good avenue for cybersecurity awareness. And also, regularly po, maraming mga webinars kayong makikita. Yung sa website ni DICT, may Facebook si Cybersecurity. Marami po mga informations kaming ipinopost doon para maibahagi kung ano yung mga kailangan malaman natin sa cybersecurity. And para sana ma-normalize yung protection ang malawakan ng ating kapwa Pilipino. Isa sa mga proyekto rin ng DICT is partnership with the academe and other learning institution. Para sana habang maaga pa, sa mga kabataan pa lang, ma-inject, ipakilala na kaagad sa mga bata kung ano ang cybersecurity at mga kahalagahan nito. Like for example, when was that? Nung 13. May event kasi may event ngayon si Cybersecurity, yung Philippine International Cybersecurity Conference, pang second, actually kasabay nito ngayong hapon. And one of the speakers there was a cybersecurity expert from Israel. And sabi niya as part ng kanilang cybersecurity awareness, sa elementary educations pa lang na pag-aaral, kasama na ang cybersecurity as part of the subject. So siguro dito sa atin sa Pilipinas, maganda na later on maisama na rin ang cybersecurity as part of the curriculum. Kasi there's no turning back. Talagang hindi na pwedeng mawala sa buhay natin ang information and communications technology. And laging as part ng progress and development, parating hindi maiwasan na may mga enterprising individual na parating challenge sa technology. And also, educate. So tayo mismo sa ating sarili, sabi nga natin, it's everybody's responsibility, mag-aral tayo na mag-aral. So, i-balance natin, mag-TikTok, magbasa about cybersecurity. Makipag-chat, then isingit-singit natin, basa-basa lang tayo. Habang nagkakape tayo sa umaga, may maisip tayo, nakinig tayo ng balita, may cyber threat na nangyari sa ganong bansa. Then magbukas tayo, mag-browse tayo. Ano ba itong cyber threat? Ano ba itong nangyaring pipeline oil hacking na nangyari? So magbasa po tayo. Educate ourselves. Salamat po.
Thank you, sir, for that wonderful answer. So, do we need, meron pa bang questions? So, sige, last na to kasi we are out of time. So, number 4, sir, for the last question. Is installing antivirus software on mobile device necessary? Are password managers safe to use, or is it safe to let your browser remember your password?
Is installing antivirus software on mobile devices necessary? Yes, both yes and no. No, if you are just an ordinary user, probably, na wala ka naman mga important information, or you're not dealing with sensitive transactional information when using your devices. But yes, if you are using your mobile devices in doing business, na ginagamit mo siya pag online transaction, or mobile banking, and when communicating with officially na kailangan mo mag-reveal ng some sensitive information. Are password managers safe to use? On my personal opinion is yes. Kasi ano naman sila, fully tested sila, and may mabasa ka rin mga review. But make sure, marami kasing maraming mga password managers na mga freeware, pag-aralan nyo rin. Pag-aralan yung mga features nila, and tingnan nyo kung alin yung nababagay sa requirements mo bago ka mag-engage. Is it safe to let your browser remember password? It's both yes and no. Yes, if you are only the one handling you or using your laptop or device, and no if you are sharing your device or laptop to someone else. And another thing, if your browser is installed on not secure device, like mga devices na hindi gumagamit ng virtual private network, walang trusted antivirus, walang trusted anti-malware, I would not say it is not recommended to let your browser password remember on that particular device. Of course, kung naka store yung password mo, is very convenient gamitin. But then again, it's not that really safe.